we do the little intro stuff like
We
that.
live, we live.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Good afternoon, or whenever y'all are catching this. Welcome to episode 32 of the MMAHOLIcs. I'm Antoine, and this is Nikki. And today we were going to do a postcard review of the UFC 307 preview. It just took, card. You had pay-per-view, I meant to say. It just took place last night. And yeah, it was a pretty eventful card, you can definitely say. How'd you feel about it, Nikki, as we
The
started
card
off?
was way better than I thought it was gonna be. It was very mixed emotions with it. There was
Mhm.
definitely some controversy throughout the card, but it definitely was exciting from start to finish, even with bullshit happening completely. Um, it was an interesting card. I think at the end of the day, it played out better than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was just
Mhm.
gonna be a solid card. That was a really good card.
Nah, I agree. I thought it was the same way. Especially like with Court McGee and Tim Means starting it off like that, like Court McGee, like we honestly said, in the breakdown, like being really aggressive from the opening bell. You saw in his post-fight octagon interview, he literally was thanking his family as the first people, and you already knew with him in the crowd, he wasn't going to allow himself to lose in his home state of Utah. And it was cool, man. I honestly thought it was really cool. I'm glad, I thought the elevation didn't really affect too much of the fights. I thought most of the fighters still performed to the best of their abilities, and yeah, man, we could start it off with the main event since we broke it down with the main event a few days ago. And yeah, man, you can give your opinion first, man. How'd you thought the main event broke down, like from
That
Roundtree's perspective?
fight was amazing, dude. I was surprised. I knew Roundtree was gonna be a threat. I thought it was gonna be more back and forth, but Roundtree really controlled a lot of this fight.
Hmm.
Um, he's really good. He's definitely built his fan base off of this fight.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't know of him but you heard of him, now you know of him and you like him. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna be rooting for him. I definitely see him getting rebooked with Jamal Hill. Speaking of Jamal Hill, I think everyone saw the reaction when everyone's going crazy and he's just in the crowd,
He's yawning, yeah.
fake yawning, like you didn't get knocked out and how quick. But yeah, I think Roundtree versus Hill is going to be a really good fight.
Hmm.
Roundtree's 34 years old, 3 years younger than Alex. He looks like he could be a champion. If anyone in this division could be a champion if Alex wasn't there, a lot of people would probably say Yuri. People would say Ankalaev. But Roundtree looks really good. I mean, the damage he could put out and the strikes he could take. Because he was getting hit here and there by Alex, and he was doing really good. I think he faded off in the third a little bit. That's when you
Hmm.
start to really see him fade off.
Right.
I think Alex looked good all the way through. He did get, stunned one time, fell back against the cage and came back. Um, but Alex didn't look bad. His cardio looked really good. He definitely had the big bags under his eyes. Roundtree
Right.
had them too. Roundtree had the stitches on his nose, and that caused all the bleeding. But I mean, Roundtree did get fucked up in that fourth round. That fourth round is when Alex separated it, just complete domination.
Hmm.
He just returned everything Alex took. He just returned right back to him in that fourth. And when I
Right.
was watching with my boys, we were like, "There's fuck." I just lost my train of thought. Um, you go, you go. I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, yeah.
Oh no, you're good, bro. Nah, yeah, you said you were watching with your boys. Yeah, man, it was just a systematic breakdown from the point you hit round two, you could say. Now, of course, I seen a lot of people last night. I feel like they were really still trying to undermine the performance that Khalil Roundtree had. They're only talking about the head kick he landed. He dropped him before that. He really hit the off button on him. When you see the fighter's body go limp like that, and when the way he dropped and he had to get back up and recover, he hurt him most definitely. We've seen Alex Pereira hurt on numerous occasions, of course, only against good strikers, but mainly when Israel had him hurt, in the first round of their fight, of their first meeting, of course. And yeah, man, Pereira looked really, really good. I saw some scorecards that had Roundtree up after like I think it was like after like the first 3 rounds, and like he was looking good. I think just Pereira really started like just to like systematically pull away and just look better overall. And I really thought like the championship experience honestly played a role. And I think he just took over after that. And now in the fourth round, I think like the elevation really started to really set the tone for what was about to happen. And like he got a really bad cut over his right eye too. And like that really I feel like played a part in the stoppage. Like every time that's getting clipped over and over and just like, like it doesn't matter how much adrenaline you have, like when someone's hitting you that hard to the point where like, your skin's starting to split open like that. Like you can only do so much. And I do think again the elevation definitely played a part in that. And I do think he was starting to excuse me, gas out. Now in the fight, I thought he landed some really good leg kicks, some good body kicks. Excuse me, I thought he had the speed advantage. Undoubtedly so. I thought he was faster than Alex Pereira. At least he looked like it. And yeah, man, Alex just started, just to take over, like I said. Um, really after rounds like two, like around like the 2.5 minute mark of the second round, he really started to get the timing and yeah, and some people on Twitter thought, Pereira looked off. I don't know. I think just people underestimated Roundtree. They really like, when people keep like, because people act like it's not a fist fight at the end of the day. Of course, you can say whatever you want about favorites and underdogs and this and that. I think it was more so like it was shrouded in the fact that a lot of people felt like this should have been Magomed on Kalaev to the point where they really like really forgot how good of a striker Khalil Roundtree can really be and how good of a striker that he is. And I thought that really got like lost in the buildup for real. And now like for this, you feel me? As we move on from this main event, obviously like for Roundtree, I do think he's still gonna get a big fight next. He's 34 years old. I think they're just gonna rebook the Jamal Hill fight. Now he's gonna be out for a real long time. And I think that was a blessing in disguise, for Jamal Hill, like, to not have fought Roundtree that early coming off his knockout. And this Roundtree was waiting on the sidelines, after Hill getting knocked out the way he did. So I think they should just rebook that fight. I think, they still really like Roundtree. He still has a really fun fighting style, obviously. He's 34 years old. So if he's gonna do something, lucky. I mean, it's light heavyweight. These dudes can be in their prime. I mean, like Azamat Murzakanov is 35 years old and like he's undefeated and I think he's fighting Nikita Krylov at UFC 308. So it's gonna be cool to see if he can finally crack the upper echelon and get a move on for Azamat Murzakanov too. But yeah, for Roundtree, I think they're just gonna rebook the hell fight. Magomed on Kalaev is fighting Alexander Rakic. Yuri Prohaska still gonna take some time off after the head kick knockout. So I think that's just it, and that's how it's gonna go. And like that's like the top 5 guys all locked up. Like Hill's out, Rakic is fighting on Kalaev, Pereira's out, Prohaska's out. So I think they're both all. I think the top of the division is really going to be out for a little bit. So I think that gives them all ample time enough to rest up, and I think that Roundtree can really slide in there, probably around like April, maybe May, something like that. Like this summer, International Fight Week, and get back in there. Now again, it does depend on Hill unless he wants to give like an up and comer in the division a chance. I don't think he's gonna do that. So he really has time just to just sit down and just recover from the Pereira knockout. And for Pereira, I think he's gonna take some time off. Like I said, on our original breakdown, I said like this will probably be the last time he steps out there before sitting down for the rest of the year. He's earned the right to enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a really nice holiday for sure with the money he's been making. So I'm happy for him. Both guys get to rest up around the holiday season like they deserve to. And yeah, we'll just see what happens after this. I do think that Magomed Ankalaev will beat Alexander Rakic when they face off. So I think Pereira versus Ankalaev is going to have a massive buildup when it does happen. Like both these guys, Magomed Ankalaev, that'd be like an 11 fight win streak for him or something like that. So like and like he's 20-1. He could be undefeated if he never tapped out to that Paul Craig submission. So he could be a 21-0 challenger versus a legendary champion at this point. So I love fights like that. I love fights like that. Like yeah, the champion has losses, but it's still like they still have the belt. Like they're still the champion for a reason. And now they have to take out this challenger. So if anyone's gonna beat a challenger like that, it will be the champion. So I look forward to that, and like we'll see what happens. Like, do you have any closing thoughts on like the main event or anything? How do you feel about it?
I think Alex looked really good. I don't think. I mean, Alex should take the rest of the year off, but just be on standby. You definitely have, the Stipe and Jones fight coming up, and it could be, it genuinely could be as simple as like Stipe's out. John Jones doesn't want to fight someone he didn't train
Aspinall,
for. He
right?
doesn't want to fight someone he doesn't train for. He doesn't have to. Now Aspinall needs an opponent. Alex stepped in for a title fight. It could be just like last year, a whole new title fight on the card. It could be Alex versus Aspinall. I mean, Alex did say he doesn't want to fight Drickus because he's letting Sean have that. Um, so yeah, and also you did say people said he looked off. Apparently he was on antibiotics and he was
Yeah,
coughing between
yeah, and
rounds.
he had like a torn ligament in his foot,
Yeah,
which I do believe that. I guess he did break his toe back in June when he
a
fought
head kick.
Yuri Prohaska.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I get it. I do believe
I
that.
think this made him pound for pound. Listen, I love Islam. I think this made him pound for pound number one until Islam wins another fight. Like,
You
I
think
love
so?
what Islam has
Like
done. It's been 4 knockouts this year, has it?
yeah, Yuri, Jamal, Khalil.
4 knockouts in 1 year is insane.
Like personally, um, I mean, yeah, man, it's just like I guess it really just depends on like how you feel about it. Like, about the competition. He did beat the number 8 ranked fighter. Now, of course, like,
But
they
this
didn't.
is a cleared out division too. You got to remember, like, okay, you got Ankalaev, but like there was so much like drama. Like, it didn't seem like it was just like waiting on Alex to sign that fight, and Ankalaev was waiting. So there was definitely something going on there. It's not like Ankalaev said yes, 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 and Pereira said no. There was more to it than that. So I feel like it's a clear division. There's one person left, and
Mhm.
Islam is too. Islam has a clear division. There's one dude left in Sarukian. He beat him, but there's still one dude left in Sarukian. So yeah, I mean they're neck and neck right there. Obviously Dana White's gonna say John Jones is number one, but Dana White will take John Jones over anything. But yeah, that's the closing remarks. It was a great fight. Um,
I thought it
yeah,
was good.
Alex did a good thing. He game planned good. I mean, he like I don't think he expected Roundtree to be that quick and land that much.
Yeah.
But he definitely did the right thing by extending it into later rounds. And I was just in the Discord with my boy, just yo, rip to the body. He's headhunting in the fourth one. I'm like, rip to the body, throw the head kick now. Like Roundtree was just holding up, guarding that jab the whole time. And as soon as he ripped to that body, Roundtree went down. Double double hook to the body and an undercut. Oh my god. That was such a good fight, bro. That's what people want to see. Like, that's what casuals want to see when they watch a fight. That is like the pinnacle of the UFC. Like, that was amazing.
That's why people watch. Like it's why it has like a fan base. That's why like people got posters on their walls. You feel me? That's why people like really like dedicate their time on those Saturdays. Like that's what Dana wants it to be. Like when you hear ultimate fighting, it can be boring, and like I get it. Like for me, like I'm all about mixing the martial arts. I'll never ever like be one of those dudes that get mad at wrestlers for taking advantage of like their opponent's weakness. Like it is what it is. Like you have to do whatever it takes to win the fight at the end of the day, because you also have to receive both paychecks. And again, like I've said before here, that's the fact that's the thing is like pretty crazy. That's like real gladiator shit. Like for real, for like I get why they like yeah, you really have to like fight for your purse. You feel me? Like kill this man for like for your purse. But again, congratulations to both fighters on a great fight. I look forward to seeing what comes from this. Both fighters are going to get big fights. I think they're both going to stay like around near the top of the division. Don't be surprised if it's Sunday as we record this. Don't be surprised if on Tuesday you see they bump up Roundtree. They've done it before. Like
He
Steve
should be
Burns,
number two. He should be
uh,
number two.
the number
Right?
two fighter. You think
I
so?
think so. I think so. He put up the most competitive fight Alex has had yet. I put him over Yuri for sure, and I put him over Jamal Hill. Uh, the only person above him should be Ankalaev. I don't see anyone else who's better than Roundtree after facing the champion. There's
Right.
no one who gave the champion a better fight in light heavyweight.
No, yeah, you're right. Like
They'll
I
probably put him at like 4 or something,
four, like
maybe
some like 4
5, but
or
I
5.
think he
Something
should be
like
number 2.
Like, yeah, like don't be surprised. They have done this in the past. Like, Dominic Reyes was the number 4 ranked light heavyweight when he fought John Jones back at UFC 247. And that Tuesday after that in February, Dominic Reyes was the number 1 contender coming off a loss. So, and again, most recently, Steve Erceg at UFC 301, he was the number 10 like ranked flyweight, and they bumped Steve up to like he was like when he fought Kai Kara France, he was like number 6, maybe like 5 when he fought him. So it has happened where they will bump up a fighter off a loss if it put on a really competitive fight. So and yeah, like outside of that, like, we'll just see what happens. Like again, shout out to Khalil Roundtree. Both he did. I'm pretty sure he got a fight of the night bonus for sure.
Mhm.
And like they just paid for his medical bills, and I'm happy he put on a performance he can be proud of. He's gonna watch it back and just tell himself like, man, if I didn't gas out, I could have won that, or like anything like that. I'm glad he walks away not feeling defeated like that, even though like of course he's waking up in a hospital bed this morning, like of course like still feeling the pain. On the West Coast, it's like 11 a.m. in Vegas right now, so he probably is still at the hospital, most definitely. And wish him nothing but the best in his recovery. And same to Alex Pereira, of course, for another beautiful performance. Want to give a shout out to Lane for popping in here. And yeah, I guess same thing we were saying, just echoing our sentiment. Absolutely. Shout out to Roundtree. And yeah, man, like, you believe in yourself at the end of the day before anybody else believes in you. And that's just how life goes for every single one of us. And move on to the co-main. And yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
You can give your thoughts on this one first. Go ahead.
This fight definitely played out better than I thought it was. Like I did tell you, I was like, this is gonna be a Juliana Pena submission, which it was close to, or this
Very
fight's gonna drag out 25 minutes and be boring. But I was wrong. It wasn't boring. It was actually a really good fight. Um, People think Pennington won. I thought when I was watching this fight, my friends were like trying to give around. We're all watching in the Discord. We're trying to give rounds. I was like, yo, it doesn't matter who you're giving a round to, because with the judges tonight, that does not matter. So I stopped caring about rounds and I was just watching the fight to enjoy it. Juliana had the 2 or 3 takedowns, which she controlled.
She was locking her up too with the body lock and everything. Like she was
Jumped on
holding
her
her
back and everything.
back,
She looked
like
really good.
everything. She was really like
Submitting, going for the submissions. She had a great fight, Juliana.
great guy.
Um, yeah, Pennington, she was good on the feet. She had that big ass welt on her head, round 1. So maybe that's why she lost round 1, was getting that on her head. You remember that when I think it was Pennington like jumped into her and
Mm-hmm.
Pena hit the little overhand right to her fucking face. That was a good moment in the fight. It was a good fight. Definitely slept on it. Shout out to Pena. She got her belt back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
two
that's it.
time future Hall of Famer. Like I
Called
mean,
out
yeah,
Nunez. Said fuck Kayla.
Again, like fuck Kayla. Like I feel like, man, I mean, I feel like, that was more so like a money move. I think she makes more money off Amanda Nunes than she does off Kayla Harrison. I can see why she would say that, getting the goat of all, getting the greatest female fighter of all time out of retirement to come back. And, people would want to see Juliana lose to her again after their second fight. But of course, you give Pena a chance in any fight she takes. I don't be disrespecting no one, and I give her respect, full on flowers during the breakdown too. I was like, if people try to undermine her, like she does not have a skill set, she's most definitely a UFC fighter and a high level one. And it's just the striking just getting better, and yeah, you feel me. Plus, it's Amanda at the end of the day, and yeah, now she has to get ready to face the number two girl because Pennington just lost her belt, so she'll still be number one. And yeah, like we'll see what happens with Pena versus Harrison. I am happy that we are gonna get the fight. Like we actually get this. Like it's gonna happen. It's locked in. Some months are gonna go by. I think if I had to guess, they're probably gonna fight at like International Fight Week or something like that. I think they're gonna save them for July. They both talk a lot of trash. Like both girls are like some of the better looking girls in MMA. You could definitely say that. And I think that's just gonna attract a lot of eyes. They're both gonna talk a lot of shit. At the end of the day, like they're gonna step in there and fight each other, And a lot of people are gonna try to like, disrespect Pena. It just depends. Like, 'cause, Kellen Vietto's giving her some problems, So Pena, like, you can say Pena's the better boxer. You can really say that. You feel me? If you wanted to, I think I think she's gonna hit harder than Kayla will expect. And it really the biggest thing about Pena versus Harrison for me is like the strength advantage. Like who has the strength? Obviously, like Kayla
I
is
think
ripped.
Kayla would
I
be
mean, I
stronger.
mean,
Pena would be more technical, if anything.
because Kayla's ripped, I do think Kayla will be able to get the takedowns here and there. Some betting odds are probably already out about that fight. We're gonna see how it goes. Like, it's definitely gonna be an interesting one, I will say. I'm just happy for Pena, to really make herself future Hall of Famer like that. 2 time, she won it twice. Some fighters don't even fight for it one time. You feel me? It was just cool to see her come back and like just really get her belt like that, like. But again, now she has to turn around and fight another killer, like a killer like herself. I mean, and we'll see what happens. You feel me? I'm not gonna give no early pick on that because I do want to like just let that marinate and just like look at that a little more before I do decide to make a pick. I am really excited for that though. It might be it might be the last big fight at female bantamweight for a pretty long time. Like there's no like brewing rivalries or anything like that going on at the moment. Of course, like after this, like Pena, if she defends the belt, whoever wins that probably is gonna have to fight Norma Dumont. Or they might give Pena a rematch, depending how the first fight goes with Pena versus Harrison. Get Harrison versus Pena too, only because they're going to talk trash, bro. They're going to talk. It's going to be really entertaining, regardless of whatever people say. And I do look forward to it a lot. And shout out to Raquel Pennington. She has a belt at home herself. We'll see what happens with the remainder of her career. If she were to decide to retire, she could. She's a mom now. You feel me? She can move on into the sunset. But I think she's gonna get back on the horse. It was a competitive fight. A lot of people thought she won it, so I do think she's gonna try to get back in the title picture and try to get a chance at getting her belt back. You could say, So we'll see what happens. But shout out to Pena and New, like we said. You feel me? And that's it. Congratulations to both ladies, and I wish them nothing but the best. They're both moms. You feel me? So that's just how it goes, and no, always cool. Like when you get to the championship fights and like you get a new, like if there's an end new, like never think like the name on the right side of the poster can't win. Like, because there's always an A side and a B side and stuff like that. But but again, going to the next fight, Jose Aldo lost, of course, truly unfortunate result for Jose Aldo in the Mario Batista fight. He got held against the cage, similar to the Marab Dwashvili fight. And we'll see what Aldo decides to do after this. He's already a Hall of Famer. He's already beat the game multiple times, 2-time featherweight champion. So we'll see what happens. with Aldo. Still a lot of big fights for him if he chooses to stay. And I think obviously he just had a baby recently, like about 2 years ago. He had like another boy, so obviously he still has to get paid, still has to feed his family. So he still gets paid pretty handsomely when the checks come in. So and he still loves fighting at the end of the day. Still likes competing, likes staying in shape, even at a later age, at almost 40. So we'll see what happens. But how do you feel about the feature bout?
Fucking decision sucked. That was like one of the worst decisions I ever seen. You don't get 10 of 10 on stuff takedowns and win the stand up all fight and lose. I mean, dude, that was just fucking disgusting. It's crazy they could even give Batista the win for that. Like, you hold him against the cage. That's not a dominant position. It's a stalling position. You're stalling. I wanted the ref for this fight from the Almeida fight, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy that they could even decide, like, how the hell. How about the Pennington and Aldo? Yeah, we just got over the Pennington fight, but right now we're on the Aldo. It's just crazy that you could hold someone against the cage. I mean, it's not like Aldo could just take his two hands and just shove Mario off him. It's kind of like the whole, like when someone's sitting in guard, you know what I mean? They could sit in guard or they could sit with the body triangle around you. They don't have to do anything and they could just sit there and they could just stall and stall. But this is even worse. You didn't even get him to the ground. You just pushed him against the cage. You were shooting, shooting, shooting. Couldn't get him down and you're just holding him there. You're wrapping your arms and you're just hugging on for dear life. And then you have the nerve to like celebrate after that when they call your name. It's like, yeah, you got a family to feed and all this shit, you know. But at the end of the day, like, you don't believe you won that fight. It's really disappointing in my opinion that the UFC even does that shit. And it's just constant. These judges don't get pulled out for doing that, you know. Um, I was disappointed in it a lot. Like, I'm still really pissed off about that. Like, if there's anything I could do about it, I would. But there's nothing. It's over now. They broke
Yeah,
up Moreno and Royval every 5 seconds in the clinch. Moreno had no chance to do anything with it. Moreno, but that's another thing. Moreno was stalling too. There was something wrong with Moreno in that fight. Everyone
yeah,
knew from the
yeah. I
start.
think he was like injured or something, bro.
And
He
he
was
was gassed at the end. He threw a punch and just hugged on. And these refs could see it. They could see when someone's not trying to fight. No one wants to watch that. No one wants to deal with that. The only person, like, it's not like it's a skill thing to just hug someone. I mean, you could be good at clinching, but like, if you're not doing anything, bro, you get in the ring to finish. Like, this isn't this is decisions happen because the fight can't go longer than 15 or 25 minutes.
right.
But the goal is to finish the other fighter, to knock them
Okay.
out, technically knock them out, or submit them. There's only a time limit, is because there's other fights that have to go on. But and some people build their fighting over, like, they're point fighters. Okay, point fighting is one thing. What Mario Batista did was not point fighting. He was
Mm-mm.
surviving, and the judges just somehow gave him that win, and it's just bad. Like, as soon as he broke it up every time. I agree. No, no, no. I definitely know what you're talking about. It was like the first one, he held him a little long, and then the next few, he just started breaking up instantly. Like, I remember that, and I was kind of mad because I wanted Moreno to win that one. Um, but like, at the same time, I saw exactly what was happening. Like, I was like, come on, Moreno, do something better. But this just disappointed me a lot. This fight. Aldo demolished him on the feet. He got hit a few times, sure, but it didn't nothing bad. Like, Aldo was beating him up.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't believe that happened, bro. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate, bro. Like again, we'll see what he decides to do after this. He just has to, he has to get paid, man. Aldo, I mean, when I say that, and yeah, bro, like we'll see what happens. I don't know if Mario Bautista will get a big fight after this. They don't like that, bro. Like they definitely don't like that at all. They don't want to put you in big spots like co-main events of cards, like people like 18,000 people like piling in the arena. Like they don't want to see that, bro. And we'll see what happens. You feel me? Of course, Bautista walks away, like I say, with both paychecks. So at least both fighters got paid, and I think they definitely slid Aldo a little under the table, probably a little here and there. Say he's given them so many years of service. He it's crazy we're getting him on feature. He's still on pay per views to this day. At one point, he was never past the main event. So shout out to Aldo, most definitely. And we'll see what happens after this one, bro. Again, I don't know if Bautista's gonna get a big fight because his
It's gonna be
performance.
an Apex main event. Not even. He's gonna be like an Apex prelim from now on. After that,
Even if he gets to a high ranking, like you never know. You feel me? But we'll see what happens. And yeah, I mean, like this next one was super unfortunate. Not really much to talk about with this next one, obviously. I mean, yeah, Holland. Both fighters were getting settled in the fight. And like they were scrambling on the ground, and Holland broke his rib, and like it was just super unfortunate.
he was going for that. He was going for that armbar, just like I called. He's tricky. He was about to get that. Sure, Roman got him, and he was about to pass the guard. It's just a freak ass injury, though. He was this
Yeah, like
close to an
really,
armbar, though.
for real. And like I've never broken a rib. I heard it's really, really hard to breathe after you break a rib. I've had pneumonia and stuff, but I've never broken a rib before.
So
So
that position, so like when he went up and his legs shot in the air, and Roman like got his chest on them and pushed it to the side. That's something we practice in jujitsu, and what we do is we so it's called like passing the guard, whatever, or breaking the guard, and you get their legs on your shoulders, and you put their knees to their shoulders, and dude, when I tell you your body compresses so much, it feels like your bottom ribs are gonna break when that's happening, and it must have happened because he just turned so quick. But dude, holy shit! I'm telling you right now how bad that hurts. That shit must have fucking hurt
oh yeah,
Holland,
for
bro.
sure, bro. Yeah, and after that, you have to take 2 minutes of ground and pound, bro. Like from the full
Crazy.
amount, like shit, it was just terrible. It sucks it has to be counted as a TKO. It can't be like a no contest or anything like that. It was a fighter injury. You feel?
We lost you. I think we lost him, chat. Yeah, man. But if he does come back, he comes back. But it was an unfortunate injury. Um, I don't really know which way the fight would have trended. If Holland's throwing up subs like that, I thought he could have caught one. But I think it was the best thing that he did stop. Um, there's no point of fighting on that. He wouldn't be able to stand up. He would have got kicked one time in the stomachers. He'd be like limping around.
Yeah,
If
I'm
that.
sorry about that. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, like I said though, like we'll see what happens with Dolite. He defended his ranking, so he might not move up that high. Um, Either way, again, he got both paychecks. His camp was pretty crazy. Like if you're watching the embedded, he was in like the mountains of Utah. Like he was swimming and like eating steak on a fire, and like he could live in a comfortable hotel, but now he's out in the forest and the trees and stuff. So, um, I mean, yeah. Like, do you have any closing remarks on it? Like, do you think the Elite can go far in the middleweight, or like, what do you think is going to happen?
That fight doesn't tell me much. But only so far. I mean, there's definitely better people in middleweight, I think. And then you got, like all the older guys that, been around, like the Costa, Vittori, all those guys. I mean, maybe they do like Delete Savers Vittori or something to jump him up a little bit.
I think it's if like Costa.
Interesting. Paulo Costa, that could be. Um, Shit, give me like Paulo Costa versus Kaio or something. I
Nah,
don't know. But
I
that'd be a
mhm,
cool fight. They're both Brazilian. I don't know if they're cool or not. But yeah, I don't know where they do a delete. That fight didn't do much for me. You
mhm.
might just get a similarly ranked opponent because that freak injury.
Nah, yeah, you're right. Um,
I don't got time to go down the whole card. I could probably knock out these next two and maybe one more.
oh, that's
But
fine, yeah, cool, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, just significant results. We can talk about those. Obviously, gotta address this because it just played a massive shift, and the bantamweight division just caused a massive shift, most definitely. Um, it's going to play a massive part in what the UFC is trying to do in 2025, most definitely. Um, like I said, we're going to get Pena versus Harrison. Now, obviously, she went through a fair amount of adversity in this fight. She was bleeding. We've never seen her bleed before, like literally ever. It's never happened, like not in the PFL, like not against Holly Holm. So up until this fight, it happened right here and now, where she started bleeding, and I bet that was like a real, because she's an Olympian, man, so she's always gonna have her confidence. But that really like I know when she left the case, I probably messed with her a little bit. Like fuck, like okay, so these girls are really that good. Because when you're not feeling that, like that can make you feel like a god among men, and it's just crazy. The fact that like she still got her to the ground, did her thing, and so just beating her up. You feel me? And I thought Kayla still looked pretty good. It's good. It's good to see that even when going through adversity, for the first time, she can still bite down, get through it, get the takedowns. There was that one takedown where she was really far out and she tripped her and like took her down with it. That shit was like so crazy. And we're gonna see what happens. Like I said, they were saying on the broadcast we might have a future champion. We got to see how it goes. I wonder how the striking's gonna round out as she does get farther inside the UFC. So I think she just turned 34, so I think she has a good 2 years left in her prime. She hasn't taken that much damage. I do think at 35, she'll still look good. And it'd be cool, man, to see her come in here. And if she does win the title and like defend it like once or twice, really come in and be a UFC Hall of Famer, like it would really make her one of the greatest combat athletes like ever. Like it's not like being a super fan or nothing like that. To have two gold medals like that, like world class competition, like credibility like that, it's different. And the UFC belts are like gold medals for fighting. So like literally. So we'll see what we'll see how it plays out. Really happy for her. I'm happy that we get to see this really play out. Like for so long, she was over there, and people really wondered like, how is it gonna look if she finally? So to see her, it's kind of like the first part of a movie, but then like the main character gets like that upgraded super suit and stuff like that. Like it's like last night when she was wearing like the black and white in the cage and stuff. Like it was really cool when like compared to her used to like she used to wear like all red in the PFL. So it's really cool that this year really like change it up like that and really announce herself to a whole lot of fans who never got to see her fight when she was fighting for Professional Fighters League. So and shout out to Kellen Vieta. She put on a really good performance. I really thought so. Number two fighter indeed. We'll see what happens. She like it was a good fight, so she should really hold her head up high and really try to get back on the horse. She could, if Kayla becomes the champion, they could run it back. She was a -1,000 favorite against her, and she was fucking her face up at one point with the elbows and stuff. So we'll see what happens. But how do you feel about Kayla's second fight in the UFC?
Yeah, she definitely looked more human in this one, like compared to what they say about her.
Not the aura.
Yeah, but I mean, she still won the fight. She took care of business. We did say like Catelyn is gritty, She did a good job with the takedowns. Like they're both judo black belts, and it showed. Like there wasn't. It didn't feel like there was a huge skill gap difference. The rankings made sense. It didn't feel like Kayla's on another planet. A lot of people think like, Pena's performance wasn't good enough that Kayla mops her, but at the same time, Kayla's performance wasn't like this insane domination either. Like they both had close fights. They both won their fights. I think they should fight maybe as the co-main or the featured bout on International Fight Week.
Yeah.
International Fight Week next year would be cool. Because yeah, I mean everyone's a big fan of Kayla. They'll all be there in Vegas. Yeah, I think that'd be the thing to do. Good fight by Catelyn. Good in the clinch. She hit those elbows, made her bleed, did her thing. I think she could fight like Norma next or something. That'd be a cool fight. Stay at the top. She's definitely one of the best in the division. Simple as that. It's a good fight.
Who do you think is the best bantamweight in the world right now?
Women's bantamweight?
In the world.
I mean, Amanda Nunes is in the world, right? But like, it's between Kayla or Pena. I don't know. You have to see when the fight comes. You have to see when the fight comes.
Nah, that was a good answer. Yeah, in the world. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, she still could beat any of these girls, but
she's thinking she probably, man. I know she was watching that shit last night, bro. She had that.
That's her belt.
She was watching that shit, bro. Most definitely, bro. From her couch with her baby right beside her, bro. Yeah, man. Like outside of that, another fight we have to talk about. Want to give a major shout out to the boy Joaquin Buckley. Um, really transcended to a new level last night, and I'm really happy for him to come out there and like knock out a striker the caliber of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, even at 41 years old. Like it was because he was having a hard time with the timing. The first round was amazing, a lot of fun to watch. Wonder Boy, like it's different when you see a fighter who really does that in the cage. Like, because some fighters once a while will throw a nice spinning kick here and there. He really like mixes it
He
in
knows.
like seriously, like on the regular with his combinations, and I love it when like it's like like truly like unique like skill set, like most definitely only to him, and like I really love watching that every time. And it is like how he's like flowing with it, like when he threw that, like he was like I think he was like maybe he switched like to southpaw and he threw like that one kick, like it caught Joaquin on like the shoulder and he flowed off with it. It was like near the end of the first round. It was just like really that's got action movie. It was really cool to watch. And like yeah, like that's the thing. Like it was really cool for Joaquin from the opening bell. He was establishing his game plan, which was indeed to get the fight to the ground, which he should have been trying to do. Obviously, because what I just talked about, he was going through a lot of adversity on the feet at first. So it was really cool to see him like just calm it down, stay composed. He looks even bigger at welterweight than he did at middleweight. For some reason, he just looks like really jacked, bro. But he's not like jacked in a way where like he gasses. Like he has a really good gas stick. He's super athletic, really fast. And he's just getting better and better every fight. Like he's really on fire. Like he's really like gotten himself to like a way better record than he had. Like just cleaning up his record. I think he's like 20-6 now. So it's just cool to really see him like really like just hit a new level like that. Like no one really know. It's just his personality. I feel like people don't take him serious, and they've seen him be knocked out before. Like I get it, you feel me? That's the biggest fight for Kevin Holland right now. It's the Joaquin Buckley rematch. He could indeed call him out and say, "Hey, I mean, there was a video that came out. It happened last night. Joaquin Buckley caught Kevin Holland in the parking garage, and they like they had shook hands and they made up and they dapped each other up, and he wished him a safe recovery with his broken ribs. So they might have really just moved past that, and I'm pretty sure Kevin Holland's happy for Buckley having handed him that loss like that. And I think Buckley had to take that on short notice. It's so crazy. It's so crazy seeing him go of like because he took that fight on short notice. He was like just like a random guy back then, and like it's just Joaquin Buckley now, like you just keep going, like you never know what can happen in your life, bro. Like he got knocked out, mouthpiece flying in that loss, so it's cool to really see him just like stay focused. Like not too long after that, he got the infamous Impa Kasaganai knockout, and that changed his life, And then even a little bit after that, he got knocked out with a head kick by Alessio Di Chirico. And that was crazy because Alessio had lost like 3 in a row or something like that. And then he bounces back with a head kick over a dude that was on fire. And it was like, and then he bounced back, and then you saw he got knocked out by Chris Curtis, and like so it's really cool to see him like have gone down to welterweight and really establish this run that he's on. We'll see what happens. I don't think there's many people in the division that are more athletic than him. He has a really good takedown defense. He's really strong physically. I really believe he's really strong physically, absolutely. And he's really fast, and he has knockout power. So, like, as long as he can just improve the defense even more, fight by fight, I think he'll be all right, man. We'll see how far he can go. In terms of Wonder Boy, he's probably not gonna retire. I don't know where he is.
MVP fight, yo. That's the last one to do.
Right. You can say that. You can say that because like it could get MVP up the rankings just a little bit to like number 10, whatever. And like it's a tailor-made fight for Wonder Boy. Like MVP, I don't think we'll be able to knock him out like Buckley did. So it would just be a beautiful match of karate on display. And like it's just unfortunate, he got knocked out. And yeah, you might have had a really good pick with that one, man. That was a good pick, you feel me? Wonder Boy for like so. We'll see what happens for him, man. obviously that sent a message to him last night. Waking up this morning, I know he definitely felt like, yeah, I'm getting older. Because before that, he got submitted. So now he's getting submitted and knocked out. And it's just like that. That can definitely send a message to you as you get older, and like in a sport that definitely favors younger fighters. Of course, Wonder Boy is an anomaly, but at the same time, like, he's still human at the end of the day, and like, we'll see what happens after this. I'm happy for Buckley. Younger fighter, like, the sky's the limit. Like, we'll see what happens for him. You feel me? I'm really happy for him, most definitely. Met him at UFC 300. He's a super nice dude. Um, had to buy his way to UFC 300. Because I met him on like the Sky train that takes you to the Strip, and he said he was just out there. Like, he paid for his own ticket. They didn't buy his ticket for him, and then everyone saw what happened. Like, he shot his shot at the UFC 300 press conference, and then he got a co-main event in St. Louis, and then he beat Rasul Boev, and he beat Luke K. I mean, no, that was before that, and now he just beat Wonder Boy. So we'll see what happens with Buckley, man. Like, we'll see where this story goes, and that's it. You feel me? How do you feel about it though? Like, as we end on this big result.
Sad for Wonder Boy, happy for Buckley, obviously. Man, he got the takedown like the first 20 seconds of the fight, slammed him on his back. That was crazy. It wasn't 20 seconds. It felt like 20 seconds into the fight. But he got that big ass takedown. Yeah, he clearly wanted the fight on the ground. He stuck to what he said. Like, that wasn't a joke when he said, "I'm gonna go for the takedown." Um, just like he said, and he did a good job. Um, Wonderboy, I think, hit him with like a head kick or something at one point. Nothing crazy, nothing stunned him. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the all those years of like high tier karate means nothing. Nice fucking hook to your face, nice overhand, whatever he threw. She landed flush, knocked him back against the cage, and put him out. So yeah, shout out Buckley. I think he could definitely climb up this division further. There's definitely welterweights he could beat. I think the top guys are tough. Called out Usman. Usman would be a very tough fight. He's very durable. Usman. I mean, sure, he got knocked out by Leon by that head kick, but like, he's taking hits from Strong to Jorge Masvidal. He's taking shit from Leon in the other fight. He's been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be a good fight for both of them, because I think that's someone Usman could beat. But I mean, you don't know if Usman can do another. Like, I think Usman's still a great fighter, but he's older now. Buckley's in his prime. This has to be Buckley's prime. So yeah, um, didn't go the way I wanted it to go this fight, but happy for Buckley for sure.
Right.
Definitely, but definitely back on the Buckley train a little bit after that one.
Yeah, man, we'll see what happens for him. Again, like, big result. We'll see how it shifts welterweight. I do think he's gonna get even a higher fight. He's not fighting down. He called out Usman. It was a great call out. It really was. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if he gets it. I think Usman would take it because it could get him back in the win column and stifle the run of a young and up and coming fighter with potential. And yeah, outside of that, last big thing I did want to talk about was Carla Esparza. It was her last fight, of course. Some people thought she got the decision, even though she lost on paper. Just want to give a shout out to her before we end the podcast. She was great. You feel me? She went on a really big win streak at the latter half of her career when no one thought she would do it. She was murdering. She was finishing like these girls for sure, just like the Zhao Nan fight and all that. So, just really happy for her. Two-time champion, future Hall of Famer without a doubt. It sucks she ends her career on a loss. It really is
She
unfortunate.
won. She won.
I thought you
She ended
definitely
her career on a win.
like, for sure. Like, I thought you could have gave it to her. It was crazy seeing Tisha get booed after like her saying like she shouted at her mom like
Yeah, and
breast
they were still
cancer
booing her. They were like,
awareness.
they were just like, shut up. Yeah.
And they were just still booing her, bro. Shout out her mom for breast cancer. I was like, bro, that like my hands are on top of my head. I was like,
Everyone was just like, shut up. We don't want to hear you.
that's so crazy, bro. That's, oh my god, bro. Like for real, man. Shout out to Miss Pennington's mom for fighting breast cancer. Anyone who watches this, thank you so much for fighting. Uh, Support all fighters and survivors of breast cancer awareness month here at the MMAHOLICS. Absolutely. And again, want to shout out to Carla Esparza, future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. 1000% she will be. So many fighters come and go, never won a belt. She did it twice. So like we'll see what happens, man. Like we'll see if T-Shot gets a big fight after this. She had lost two in a row, so she did need it. And we'll see what happens, man. Tisha's 35 herself, so we'll see, like, if they try to give her to a young up and comer or anything like that. And that's it. And the literal last thing I will say about the card, we can back out of this. You can just leave it like this. You can just scroll up a little bit. Yasmin Lucindo, at 22 years old, has entered the top six of the strawweight division. So I am excited to see what she can accomplish. I'm really high on her. I really do like her striking and her grappling now. She's mixing in the grappling really well as she develops. 17-5 at 22 years old. So that's insane. That's so crazy. She has more fights than Kayla Harrison. Like she has more fights than Juliana Pena. Like, like it's crazy. You feel me? Like we'll see what happens. You feel me? I do think she is good. I think she can go really far. She's already in the top at this young, so only thing that could really bite her in the butt is her age. She's young though, and she's advanced for her years because of her experience. So they got to put her in the fight and throw the hands. Like they can say she's young all they want, but we'll see what happens. I do think she will challenge for a title one day. Definitely by like the age of 25. You could say she's damn near could be a future champion. You feel me? If she's this young with this much potential, we'll see what happens. Like she beat a 37-year-old fighter who was definitely losing some steam. So you could say the UFC was, lobbing this up in the air, so to speak. But we'll see what happens. You feel me? Like, how'd you feel about Lucindo?
I missed the Hubbard fight and the Lucindo fight. I was not watching for those two. I stopped after the Cesar Almeida fight, and I got back just in time for the Wonder Boy and Buckley fight. So I didn't see what I saw the results, but I didn't see. I saw a little bit of the Hubbard fight, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I thought Lucinda looked really good. She was taking her down damn near at will. It looked really good when she got her to the ground. She was gassing out near the end of the third, but I thought that's because like Mark Goddard, like he took the position away from her because like her chin was in Marina's eye, and it happened the previous round, but he didn't see it. So I thought he was trying to make up for that by just taking the position away. She had her in full mount, like hooks on like behind her butt, but 2 minutes left, and he took it from her. I just thought that was just unfair, extremely unfair to do so, and especially for the first warning, you're trying to prove a point. But yeah, like it was a good card. If I had to end it, man, the rating, like a movie rating, just like how Nikki likes to do. Um, I'll give it like a 7.7, something like that, like 7.7, 8.1 maybe, so like something like that. I thought it was a good card. Um, like the final fights came through. The pay-per-view was pretty cool outside of the Bautista fight, and the Holland injury, of course. I enjoyed the pay-per-view. Especially the co-main and main events. I thought any person that didn't like the co-main event, they just didn't pick Juliana to win. I thought it was a decent fight. It was better than people thought it was going to be. Like she was getting dropped. She took her down. Like they were like on the cage. They were striking and grappling. Like it was way better than like the Bueno Silva fight, you could say. So we got a new champion. We have an instill. And yeah, like what's your closing remarks on it? Almost made it to an hour on this one too. So
Yeah, I would say this card was like around an 8.5 if you take away a few of the decisions. But like the fights in general, yeah, it was like a really good card. Like fuck the decisions, the fights alone, they were good. I enjoyed it, And we on to the next one. We on to a few fight nights. I think 2 fight nights and then Abu Dhabi. So yeah.
Yep, it's pretty cool, man. Like 2 more of these pods, and then we're gonna break down like crazy ass card, boy. 308. Like it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I think as of right now, as I check before we leave. I think it still has 15 fights on it. Now, I know we lost the Gon and Volkov, but it has 14 fights on it. So it is starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. You better set your alarm for 9:30. If you want to eat some breakfast before. Yeah, man, it's a crazy card. Even as we scan the next pay-per-view, Ilya Taporia versus Max Holloway, Robert Whitaker versus Hamzat Chimaev, Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige, Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic, and Sharaputin Magomedov versus Armin Petrosian. And that's the pay-per-view card, So that is pretty insane, And then we got Jeff Neal versus Rafael Dos Anjos, Bruno Ferreira versus Abus Magomedov. That fight's bonkers. You feel me? I'm not even gonna hold you. Miktibek Orobai versus Mitu's Rebecki. Like this whole card is pretty crazy. Canadian Chuck, who's moving up to heavyweight versus Justin Taffa. Like that's gonna end. Like this card is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. It even starts off with Nurmagomedov, no relation, but Saeed Nurmagomedov. Always like watching him fight. Um, and yeah, like we'll see what happens. Again, starts at 10 o'clock in the morning in Abu Dhabi. So, but the next location for us will be Las Vegas. You feel me? At the UFC Apex, unfortunately. Good main event though. Really excited to see Tatsudo Taira fight. Always love watching him fight, and he could become the number one contender at like 24. So. That's a massive shift in the flyweight division. Of course, it's on a fight night, so only hardcores will know about the massive shift. But still, like he could really do that in the main event of a fight night, and it would play a massive role in a future pay-per-view, most definitely. So we'll see what happens. But you got anything else, or are you good?
That's it for me, brother.
All right. Now I appreciate y'all again for joining us. Thank you, Tata and Lane. Anyone else that tuned in and watched, appreciate y'all for joining us on this afternoon. We'll catch y'all in the middle of the week for our UFC Vegas. I think it's UFC Vegas 98. UFC Vegas 98 for this next fight night. So, yeah, definitely catch us, most definitely. Look forward to having y'all, like always. And thank you for watching this whenever you got to. And God bless you all. And y'all enjoy the fights, most definitely.
Peace.